Yemeni Houthis sentence 13 men to death for homosexuality. In a stark demonstration of the Houthi-controlled judiciary's harsh stance on homosexuality, a court in the Yemeni province of Ib sentenced 13 men to public execution on charges related to homosexuality, with another 35 receiving prison sentences for similar accusations. This punitive action occurs amidst the tumultuous backdrop of ongoing conflict involving the Houthis, who are supported by the Islamic Republic of Iran, and their aggressive operations in the Red Sea. Niku Jafarnia, a Yemen researcher for Human Rights Watch, highlighted the gravity of the situation, stating, quote, "The Houthis are ramping up their abuses at home while the world is busy watching their attacks in the Red Sea." This sentencing of these 13 men underscores the severe human rights challenges in Houthi controlled areas, reflecting broader concerns about the treatment of LGBT individuals in conflict zones and under extremist rules. So, Armin, for someone who is maybe a little bit under a rock and doesn't understand what the Houthis have been up to lately, can you give a very quick summary that provides a little context about before we move forward?
Oh, are you talking about the Houthis while having a major severe case of poverty and child malnutrition and disease spreading in their own country, deciding to go and fight more wars with 20 plus countries around the world by attacking their ships because of the war in Gaza? I mean, by the way, people they act like they're supporting Palestinians in Gaza while their citizens are actually suffering more. So the Houthis are picking up a fight by attacking civilian ships, and blocking international trade around the world in support, as they claim, for Palestinians and against the Israelis, while the average Yemeni is actually having it worse than the average Palestinian, and what they're doing is bringing up more misery and suffering to their own Palestinians. So what they're doing is not only not helping Palestinians in Gaza, is making the situation for an average Yemeni that is worse off than an average Palestinians even worse. And also they're also making life difficult for mostly for poor people around the world, including many people from Islamic countries. So they're trying to attack Israel by attacking random civilian ships, and they're mostly attacking ships that have nothing to do with Israel. But the main people who are suffering are poor people around the world, which are watching their food prices increase, and also their ability to generate their income decrease. And the main country that is now suffering because of Houthis attacking different ships is Egypt. So they have managed to, in an effort to defend Muslims, they have managed to do almost nothing to Israelis and bring more suffering to Muslims around the world, including their own citizens and mostly Muslims in Egypt as well. So, and they're continuing to do so. And also, their flag is a very anti-Semitic. I'm not going to say what they say on the flag here on the show, because we already been saying many naughty words here. Go just look it up. But it's very interesting that I don't understand why the very same people who have decided to be this openly anti-Semitic on their own flag are doing the Yahtzee salute as well. Like, what the hell is this? Why are they doing the Yahtzee salute? I never understood that. Like, this has nothing to do. There's nothing in Islam that tells you that this is a way that you do the salute. Like, do you know about this? I don't even know about this. Why is this a way? This is not Islamic. Why do the Houthis decide to do this type of salute?
Because it's the Yahtzee salute.
Is it actually because of that? I don't think so.
That's my understanding. So let's wait. There was something else I wanted to discuss. So one thing that just is like kind of silly to me is that this is because of what they've been doing in the Red Sea. It's disrupted 1/5 of global trade. But kind of what's so funny to me is that Israel only has a single port on the Red Sea. Israel has one single port on the Red Sea. Most of their maritime activity is going to be happening on the complete other side of the country. So, although activity in their one port did drop by 85%, I think as a whole, it's not going to be that much of like a hard hit for Israel specifically. And it's just going to fuck up everyone else and unite the world in in helping you discover what FAFO stands for. Oh, I mean, I can say it because we're already demonetized. Let's fuck around and find out. Be very
Oh my
what?
Oh my God, you're right. They do the Nazi salute because it's the Nazi salute. What the hell? They are. I thought like it's just like a coincidence that it looks the same, but no, they're doing it because it's the Nazi salute. Holy crap! Okay.
I don't know why this is surprising.
I mean, you know why it's surprising? It's not surprising to. Okay, let me actually tell you why it's surprising. It's not surprising to me because I think they're not vile enough to be able to do something like this. It's surprising to me because it's Western, right? Because I'm like, because Houthis are very Islamic. So why are you adopting a Western, um, tradition?
Yeah,
But
and
go
Dee
on.
is bringing up a good point. She's saying, and idiots in the US are chanting for them. So let's not forget that there are progressive Americans, again, quote unquote, progressive Americans across the country who are in the street yelling, Yemen, Yemen, make us proud, turn another ship around. Again, completely, seemingly unaware of the fact that Israel is mostly on the coast of the Mediterranean. We're just gonna forget that fact. We're just gonna forget that. And we're gonna be focused on the Red Sea, completely wrong side. Completely wrong side. They only got one port down there at the very, very tip. And they're Yemen, and we have people like Hassan Piker, like openly sympathizing, simping, and supporting the Houthis. So this instant with the Houthis and they're attacking random ships in the Red Sea, like literally just random ships in the Red Sea, has turned these like wannabe revolutionaries in the United States that used to at least like pretend. They used to like pretend a little bit. They've like this made them just straight up just mainstream terrorist supporting. They just they just took it and mainlined it straight into their veins. They're like, "Oh no, we're just going to straight up be terrorist supporters now." And what I have seen Yemeni activists talk about that are actually progressive, actually liberal, is saying, I don't see any of you guys talking about these men that were just sentenced to death for being gay. Literally, do any of them care? Because so activists like Louay Ahmed, who I actually recently did a podcast with Zara K. I don't think that's been released yet, but he's from Yemen. He's a gay Yemeni. And when all these progressives started going out and supporting the Houthis, he was railing against them. He's been railing against this movement for for a long time, since the beginning, just being like, you guys didn't say, you don't care about like my people at all. Like, you are so selective towards this cause. It is so obvious that you are selective towards this cause, because if you cared more about the livelihood of Muslims around the world in general, you would care about Yemen. But you see not even a fifth of the interest, the action, the activism, the energy in the streets as you do for Yemen. I don't even know what percentage. It's a minuscule percentage. It's a minuscule fraction. So he's been calling out their hypocrisy really hard. And then when it came to this news coming out recently, he was like, where are you guys now? Where are you guys now? You don't care.
Mm.
Your values are hollow, and it is so obvious. It is so obviously hollow because you have nothing to say about what happened to these 13 men and the 35 that received prison sentences. Literally nothing. You won't even see it exit their mouths as something that even occurred. And these are supposed to be like the queers for Palestine. Where are the queers for Yemen? Like, give me a break. So I can't take any of these people seriously. It's like beyond the pale. It's freaking beyond the pale.
By the way, D included this video of the same people actually supporting Yemen. Should I play this?
Yeah. Also, thank you, D, our lovely volunteer editor. She's the best.
Yes. So they're saying, Yemen, Yemen, make us proud, turn another ship around. Unbelievable. This is crazy. Wow. Where is this? This is Columbia University.
Yeah, Columbia.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Holy crap. What is happening in the US?
Here's the thing. Why that is so stupid is because one, those are a bunch of people, like young people that are already LARPing. Like half of these like honestly, I think most of these like young pro-Palestinian protesters are just straight up LARPing. I think this is like their way to like do some revolutionary LARPing because they have their own like frustrations with our world. They have our own frustrations with capitalism, and they have somehow managed to fold like all leftist issues have now just folded into Palestine for some very bizarre reason. And so this is their way to LARP as a revolutionary because they're not actually going to do dick to overthrow any government in the United States. They don't have the balls. They have too much to lose. They don't actually want to lose their lives. They don't actually want to be put in danger the way that other people around the world are. So they're living vicariously, right? They're living vicariously. So not only are they already LARPing, but they're LARPing for a group of terrorists who are LARPing themselves because the actions of the Houthis are such a LARPing freaking ineffective way to actually support Palestine. It is a LARPing, pathetic way to actually try to do anything against Israel. It's absurd. We're going to attack random fucking ships on a Red Sea where Israel only has one freaking port. It's not even where they do most of their maritime activity. Instead, we're just going to shoot at random fucking ships, say this is against Israel somehow. And basically, we're just going to fire at random people. And then when we later find out that one of these ships or one of these countries or maybe some containers on this ship somehow was owned by a Jew, then we're going to say that that's against Israel and that we're being so like death to the Zionists. We're so anti-Zionist. It's like the LARPing squared is freaking embarrassing. It's freaking embarrassing. And congratulations to the Houthis. You wanted to fuck around, you found out because the world unanimously united to be like, no, we need to shut this shit down because you're disrupting a fifth of the world trade. To the point that now other countries are like, hey, United States, why didn't you intervene faster? Hey, Mr. Daddy World Policeman, can you please step in faster to go help these guys find out? The positive correlation of fuck around and find out.
Positive correlation. Positive correlation.
And what did the US did? Okay, they went in and in the span of hours, I think, decimated a quarter of their entire ballistic capabilities. Correct me if I'm wrong, Armin, you're more knowledgeable or following this more closely than me. And my understanding
Yes.
is that I have, again, you're more knowledgeable than me. I have not heard about any civilian casualties coming from those strikes so far. I could be wrong.
No, that's correct. Wait, no, they're correct. United, by the way, United States, when they attack Yemen, why are people not impressed with the United States? Because they attack Yemeni offensive forces without killing any civilians. Like people were like a lot of leftists are like, "Ooh, United States attacking Yemen. We can't wait for some civilians to die." So we're like, "Oh no, how did like U.S. bad, U.S. bad?" But United States, when United States managed to take out some Yemeni, within a very short amount of, like, it was such a beautiful strikes within such a short amount of time. They reduced a country's fighting capability by 25%. That is huge. But nobody told, and no civilian casualties. It was very clean and it was very effective. So we're always waiting for the United States to do something wrong. To like, oh yeah, like either the leftists will say United States is purely evil, and here's an example. And even liberals are like, yeah, we support like what the United States does, but here they made a mistake. But I feel like we're so unfair because when United States does something so effectively, nobody mentions that. Even people who are like, not that many people mention that. Not even liberals come on like, okay, can we take a time to congratulate the capability of the U.S. military for it to be able to do such a clean attack in defense of international trade without having any civilian casualties? That is very hard to do. That was very precise and clean. So just wanted to mention that.
It's simply because these people have no personality outside of America bad. They need an identity because they don't have a felt sense of self. And here's the thing, as much as I love to complain about these leftists, because I mean, let's be honest, it is amusing. At the same time, I have become at the point where I do not actually feel genuinely threatened by them and their movement in any way, shape, or form. Their ideas are terrible. Their movements are largely ineffective in today's day and age. They openly talk about on Twitter how they want to buy guns because they want to live their revolutionary fantasies, but they don't buy guns because they would turn them on themselves. So excuse me if I'm not feeling very threatened by your community, by your political movement. Not to mention the fact that there was recently this series of tweets that went viral on Twitter where there was a leftist saying how if you want to be a real leftist, you should be exercising like 4 days a week. You should keep your body in like peak shape. You should have discipline. You should like try to learn different forms of martial art, blah, blah, blah. And this person was railed on and dragged through the mud for being a body fascist, for telling people to try to achieve peak physical fitness for the sake of the cause. So, excuse me if I'm not feeling threatened because all you have to do is complain about how you're not going to buy guns because you're going to shoot yourself, or because you don't want to work out because having a disciplined workout schedule is body fascist and ableist against the disabled leftists. Excuse me if I'm not too worried about you guys. Like, and especially because I used to be deeply embedded within these movements, they are so prone to completely destroying themselves. And it's so funny now to me because I'm in different spaces and I like to go observe different groups. When I compare being in the anarchist and leftist and militant groups that I used to be in with other groups I'm in now, I am shocked by how obvious the open signs of mental illness are within these leftist spaces and actively protected instead of like worked on. And then we complain like, oh my gosh, why do these movements always eat themselves? Oh, like, and obviously this doesn't apply to everyone. But I'm just commenting on some trends that I see very widely. And here's the thing, other people know that it's true. And they know within themselves that it's true. So they're going to cause a ruckus. They're going to continue to be annoying. They're going to continue to spread some bad ideas because some of them are very attractive to people who have had different issues in life, or maybe they're attractive to young people that love how exciting and thrilling it is. But ultimately, there's just way too much money to be made in this world. And that's not the way to do it. Because when I was a militant leftist, one time my dad told me, Susanna, your beliefs and ideologies, he said, are a race to the bottom. I was like, damn. A few years later, I was like, God damn it, my dad was right. Okay, so enough of my ranting. Let us go through the live chats. Thank you everyone for giving us live chats and supporting the show, because we were demonetized before we could even get naughty. Before we could even be naughty girls and boys, we were already demonetized. They were like, nah, we know y'all some trouble monkeys. We're shutting you down now. So the super chats really helped the show. Oh, one thing Armin, when you were talking to the Christian guy who doesn't want to be a Satan's minions, Jace, I think that was your name. If you're interested in still supporting the show without the unholy name of Satan being attributed to you, you can support the show. There's a link in the description to our PayPal, and you can become a monthly donor on PayPal. And that's actually a really amazing way to help support the show, because we need a certain amount of monthly donors to make sure that even if YouTube takes everything from us, that we can still keep the show going. So if you are interested, or anyone else is interested, check out the link to the PayPal in the description.
But should we consider renaming our membership tiers? Or do you guys prefer it to be satanic?
I think I like, I mean, I'm biased because
like
it's been this way forever, but I like the Satan stuff. I think it's silly. Anyways, let's go through the super chats. Unicorn. Oh, hi, Unicorn. How are you doing today? It's good to see you. Sending well wishes and health to both of you. Thank you, Unicorn. That's very sweet.
Thank you.
GJ gave a super chat saying, Susanna, the Netherlands has pee and even shaving lovemaking law. What the hell did you just tell me? What does that mean?
Where?
What does that in the Netherlands? What does that mean? I need, is it a law that you have to be like bare down there before you can make love? Is that what that means? What does that mean? Jace gave a super chat. Thank you, Jace, saying, I know you guys aren't Satanists. It's just cringe for Christians. Obviously, you don't need to listen to me, but it'd be more, your streams would be more welcoming. Oh, well, like I said, we have alternative ways to support if you are interested. And thank you for your interest.
Thank you.
GJ gave another super chat saying, Susanna, similar to the Make American Great Again GOP's Republicans blocking current tough U.S. immigration bill, only to be able to campaign that the U.S. needs tougher immigration law. I'm not exactly sure what similarity you're drawing. Like, similarity to what? Then we got another super chat by GJ. Thank you, saying Islamists love the highly aligned Yahtzees since World War II. Yep. You're not going to find a disagreement from me there. Mindspan Wellness. Oh, thank you. I don't think we've gotten a super chat from you before. Gave us $10. Very generous. Thank you. Saying Grand Jerusalem Mufti leader Hajj Amin al-Husseini met with Adolf. I will say, actually, we're already demonetized. I can say it. Met with Hitler in 1994 and promoted anti-Semitism, Mein Kampf, Elders of Zion in the Middle East. They are widely read in the Middle East. Yep. Oh, GJ saying help. What is LARPing? I apologize. So LARPing is an acronym that stands for live action role playing. So it comes from like the kind of groups of people where they like go dress up as knights and fairies and druids and sorcerers or whatever, and they like go have battles in the woods. Like freaking nerds. Or like people who do like Civil War reenactments. I think is kind of like a form of LARPing. So basically, it's a adult make believe. It's adults
It's
go and
fun.
dressed in costumes and have a little fantasy escape for an afternoon or two.
Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.